What's good, YouTube? It's your boy LB Dino, and I'm out here with another vid. So check it out. Yes. So the topic I'm speaking on today is one that I never thought I would be speaking on. And it really sucks that this went down, especially the way it went down. For years, YouTube now has been like the go-to place for my content. The place in television because television is pretty much trash. And one of the best things that I watched religiously was the JBP, or the Joe Budden podcast. Even before it was the Joe Budden podcast, when it was I'll name this podcast later. It was always a dope listen, like when I'm driving around or working or whatnot. The way that the three Joe, Roby, and Maul, the way they would chop it up about all types of topics, it was dope to me, and it reminded me of how me and my boys talk when we link up. That's how we do. The funny back and forth jokes they would crack about everything, including each other, that was fun. It was enjoyable. It was always a good listen. I definitely should have seen something though, because of it was little signs out there that there was little rumors or whatnot. But it's crazy how they just played it off so well, like nothing was going on. Joe would say weird stuff about Maul, like, "Oh, how do girls like you, and how do people think you're cool, and that he's too cool and stuff like that, or that he has low self-esteem." Like, I thought he was just messing with his boy, but looking back at it now, he must have had some deep-rooted feelings. That must have been really how he felt about him, because he really disrespected him in the end. And I see a lot of people. There's a lot of people on the internet downplaying the disrespect. Like, the internet is a place full of disrespectful people. That's like their main thing. They downplaying the disrespect that Joe gave to Maul because people don't have no type of morals. They do dumb stuff and just say, "Oh, it's the internet. You shouldn't even take it like that." In real life, that's not how things work. If you disrespect someone in real life, you can end up hurt or worse, feel me? So Joe, I feel like he felt some type of way about the way people viewed Maul. More so the females view Maul. And I think that shows in the way he spoke about him and spoke to him. Now, as for Rory, I did kind of see a little something. I definitely saw a little something going on over some time. And it wasn't just like recently either. But I don't know if people see it the same way I saw it. Because for a while, the way Joe talked to Rory, he talked to him mad condescending, like he was some little kid and he ain't know nothing about nothing. Like, "Oh, you don't know nothing. You're just a little 20-year-old. you just was born. You ain't jump off the porch yet." All that nonsense. I mean, it was funny. It's funny at first, but he like kept doing it, like pressing it. Like, it got weird sometimes, because then Rory, he would try to defend himself, and like he sound crazy like most of the time. He already sounds crazy, like a bit school shooterish. So at that point, it was like it was still a little friendly-ish, but then it would sometimes escalate to Joe saying some wild, aggressive ish to Rory, and then Rory would respond super aggressive with what sound like fighting words. That's when I thought, bruh, that sounded a little crazy. But then they would go on like it was nothing and just continue potting. There was this one time they went at it crazy, talking about fighting and all that. And I think Rory had said something like, maybe we aren't friends or something like that. At that time, I was like, nah, he be wildin'. I didn't think nothing of it though, because once again, they played it off and continued potting. And then the next week, that's when it hit the fan. That's when Joe got... Joe was like, yeah, Rory is suspended or whatever. He suspended Rory, basically. Then he tells... that's when I guess this meeting where they all got tight, and Joe told Maul... Oh no, it was... Joe called Rory and he told him that he was suspended, take the month off or whatever. And then Maul shows up to the pod and he tells Maul that the pod was none of his business. I don't know what world that Joe lives in. What type of world this dude lives in, that a pod that was built on three friends' backs, on three friends' banter, back and forth with each other. All of a sudden, it's not one of those friends' business. The business that they built is not one of it's not their business. Like, I can understand if it was the pull-up or state of the culture that he was speaking on. That would make sense. But not the pod that y'all built together. That lets me know Joe was bugging. He was in his feelings, or I'm saying, like, his ego was way too big. So that happens. They take that time off or whatever. I'm thinking, yeah, after a while they gonna come back. I didn't even know that all that stuff had happened. And then what happens? They attempt to come back, and then they did that pod or whatever. They had the picture, like, it was so corny. They had the picture where they was all sitting together and whatnot, like the pod was coming back. So then they have the pod, and you could tell the energy was off from jump. You could tell, son. You could tell the energy was off from jump, because Maul was basically not even speaking like that. I know people say Maul don't speak, but he speaks at certain times. But when Joe would step on people's point, they would just be like, all right, bet, you got it. And they would let him rock. That's how that go. Like, Joe is overpowering when he talks. He'll call people dumb and just, you know what I'm saying, step on people's points and just say he hate people and all that nonsense. He would do that all the time to them. And then people would be like, oh, why they don't talk or whatever. He won't let them talk. So that happens. They try to come back, and Joe, to Maul's face, he says he doesn't owe his friends respect. He does not think he owes his friends respect. That's some wildish. I don't know what. I never heard nothing like that before. You don't owe your friends respect. And he really tried to break it down to make it make sense. Like, nah, boy, that don't make no sense. At the end of the day, I believe Rory and Maul 1000% when they say Joe would spaz on them anytime they brought up anything financial. That's his character. That seems like his character. The type to spaz out about any little thing. Joe always, for his whole career, he claims he was broke and whatnot. But he stayed talking like a trick. He talking about cash app and females, $2,500. That adds up, my boy. In the end, though, the saddest part is that he proved Charlamagne hated ass right. Charlemagne, Rosenberg, Ebro, them dudes, they really happy about this whole pod failing or whatever. This whole breakup. They been said Joe is a F up. Like, they been said that. And boom, he proves them right. Immediately he proves them right, bro. Now, it took 5 years or whatever, but he proves them right now. So you don't got nobody to blame but himself. Money to me is really the root of all evil, bro. And fame. To me, I feel like when people get some type of fame or a little bread or some money, it changes them for the worse. It's super rare that people don't become total asses when money is involved. Like, people just lose their mind anytime they see a little bit of bread. It's sad, because how little character do you have to be changed by something as easily lost as money? It's the greatest problem I think our society faces today, is people with all the money have all the control and they're complete dweebs. That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother vid and all that. I'll probably get to some other day. But as for the Joe Budden podcast, or the JBP, whatever you want to call it, it's really sad the way it went out. I never thought these dudes would break up because of the camaraderie that they showed in every episode. It was super sad the way it went out. Super, super sad. I can't believe it went out like that. The way these dudes would chop it up and crack jokes with each other, you would never think that deep down they had this whole other issue going on. That just shows some people just can't be, you just can't give some people that type of power. When they get money, their head just goes crazy and they don't know what to do. Like, they just start thinking mad selfishly. It is what it is, though. RP to JBP. At least Rory and Maul, they got their own thing going. It looks kind of dope. I see people saying it's boring. Yeah, bro, don't watch it if you don't want it. If it's boring to you, don't watch it. Period. Like, stop being corny. If you want to watch Joe, watch Joe. Joe is doing Joe. Joe is being Joe. You know what I mean? You can watch his stuff if you want to watch his stuff. Me, I can't watch that no more. Once I see you do your peoples dirty like that, violate your peoples, like, I can't support you no more, my man. Like, that's nasty to me. Like how he would say, get the nasty water out the cupboard. He deserves the biggest nasty award. The way he went about that, everything, it was just nasty. Talking to an empty seat. Like, what's wrong with you, my boy? You was tripping out, son. Like, I don't know, he wanted to make a viral moment or something, but that was super corny, super nasty. Nasty sauce. And like Maul said, once you get that sucker sauce on you, nasty juice on you, whack juice on you, you can't get that off, bro. You can't get that off. But thanks for listening. Give me your thoughts on the vid and let me know how you feel about this whole situation.